to explain Strahd to somebody in 30 seconds or less, my first inclination would be run. Just run.
Hi, I'm Laura Hickman.
I'm Tracy Hickman, and together we're the Hickman sisters. How many years have we been creating content together?
Almost 50?
Yeah, nearly 50 years.
It's about as long as we've been married.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
48. On this cruise with Critical Hit Soda, what should people be expecting in their play at the table with us?
I actually think people should be expecting what we are expecting. Meet people who are excited and interested in exploring Strahd and Ravenloft and exploring it in new ways, not just to tell people our ideas, but to get their image of Strahd, their experience with Strahd, and to combine all of this into a greater understanding, not only of the character, but also of the adventure itself. Well, I had actually gone to a dungeon that was being run by a friend of mine. In the middle of this dungeon, we'd turn a corner and there'd be a kobold, and we'd fight the kobold. And then we turned another corner and here was a vampire. And I can still remember in the middle of this game thinking, what are you doing here? This is a vampire, this is Lord of the Night and the undead. Why are you just like wandering around this dungeon as though you were lost?
He came home with this question. And while he was at work, I sat down and I started writing him a vampire story.
As we talked about the dungeons, we got really kind of tired of the idea that you would go in and kill the monster, take its treasure, buy weapons, kill bigger monsters, take its treasure. It just seemed...
It needed a story.
It needed a story. And that's when we came up with the idea for Night Ventures. We had actually designed Ravenloft several years before we started at TSR.
At that point, we had played, 2 or 3 Halloweens. It had become a tradition to play at Halloween.
We sent our adventure modules off to TSR hoping they would buy them. And as it turns out, they called us on the neighbor's phone, since ours had been disconnected, and told us it would be easier to buy them from us if we came to work for them.
Eventually, I sat down with Harold Johnson, negotiated a price for Ravenloft. I had some idea of what the castle should look like, but Tracy's so much better architecture than I am, and he could see what it needed to be.
Up until Ravenloft, to a great extent, people would dungeon in kind of ranch-style houses. They were all on one level. They were very, very wide. They didn't have any verticality to them. If you looked at them actually in profile, they were pretty squat.
But it was often, a network of caves.
What we wanted, though, in Ravenloft was something that would have majesty and beauty on the outside if you were to actually find it and look at it. And the result of that was that it had a lot of vertical levels to it. And people, especially back then in gaming, were used to writing everything out on maps that were all square grids.
Yeah.
And looking at it as though it were one flat map.
That flatness was a convenience for the players, which we blew to bits.
Yeah, we did.
With Ravenloft. I think that there are as many versions of Barovia and Strahd and the game as there are DMs and groups, for that matter. Every group you play it with is a little bit different, as we found out when we were playing it every year.
I don't feel like Barovia has been exhausted. I don't feel like we've seen everything and experienced everything there is to experience in Ravenloft, because exploring Ravenloft very much is an exploration of ourselves and our path through life, especially the things that we encounter. I think how we deal with them, how we react to them, and how we conquer them and overcome them. And join us on this cruise. We'll see together where it leads us.